hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is a hot one today. It is a record high today. I believe it's going to be 95 today. And today is May 21st. So it's going to be a little hot out here in the shop. But today is the day we're going to get the engine in this Jeep behind me. Fingers crossed, as long as nothing snags us along the way. So here we got the engine all ready to go, as far as I know, unless Rick gets here and tells me I did something wrong. But I got the new throwout bearing in, the clutch fork on, I got everything ready to go, greased up, I covered it with plastic. Basically all we got to do is mount the flywheel, the pilot bearing, which I had a little bit of an issue with, as you can see right here. That's odd. Basically, that was an AutoZone part number, and the Mopar part number should work perfectly, I hope. So we gotta get that pressed in the back of the crank, get the dust shield, whatever you want to call on it, get the flywheel mounted, clutch, all that stuff, and then it should slide right in. As long as Rick doesn't see something that I did wrong on the actual engine somewhere, I could have missed something here or there. I don't know. I'm not a professional at this, but yeah, today is the day we're gonna get this thing in the Jeep. Hopefully we don't have a heat stroke. So stay tuned, we're gonna get right to it, and hopefully we got some good footage for you. I'm not sure how it's gonna go with wrenching here with Rick, and if you haven't done so yet, check out his channel. I'll put it across the bottom here, and also down in the description down below, Jeep.tv. Go check out his channel. He's a great guy, and very knowledgeable, and has a great channel. So go give him some love and support as well. So stay tuned, we'll get right to it. All right, so Rick got here and said to me, "Did you pack the oil pump with Vaseline?" I said, no, I did not. So, as per Rick's instructions, we pulled the pan back off, and we're gonna get that thing all ready to go, so it'll prime and it won't take forever to. So hi, Rick. So you don't have to worry about it trying to pick up oil for a long, long time. So you get that bolted back down and get her covered back up.
So I made Jason pull everything off so we could get that chain oiled. He's lining up the marks, gonna put the cam sprocket back on. It was a booger coming off too. Yep.
Maybe one more. Just slap. Man, the days that's gonna be tight.
Yep.
That's why you wanted me to do it, huh?
No, sorry about the fan noise, guys. It's like 112 degrees outside.
Sorry, not sorry.
All right. So the whole reason why we lubricated the camshaft, or the timing chain. I'm working on 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah, I really appreciate Rick being here.
So the whole reason we lube that up is that is a dry spot in the engine, and you really need that lubricated when you go to fire a dry engine up, because it's not going to receive oil for quite a bit until the engine actually builds pressure. So we went ahead and pulled that off, verified top dead center.
So the lines are lined up right there. Yep. And if you look at the harmonic balancer, the line was lined up on that too. But yeah, we should be good.
Perfect. All right, so now we're going to get the center bolt put in the camshaft sprocket, tighten that up, and then we're going to put the timing cover on, and then we need to
make sure it's flush.
Yeah, and we need to make sure it's flush right here. We don't need no leaks.
No leaks. I would grab the phone from you and start filming, but I didn't clean my hands up.
All right, so now we got Loctite on the cam sprocket bolt. That gets cranked to 50 foot-pounds.
I'm not used to these fancy tools. I should have washed my hands before I used it.
It's all right. There you go.
Okay.
Perfect.
Sweet.
What are you doing?
Putting this back on. We finally got everything buttoned up under the timing cover. Got everything Loctited and timing chain greased, and got the timing cover flush with the bottom of the block. Now we're putting the harmonic balancer back on. Rick went and said, "Don't buy the tool," but I went and didn't listen to him, bought one anyway.
Did you torque the cam bolt?
Yes.
Okay.
What was that? That was, I can't remember what it was, 50 foot-pound, I think, or something like that.
Something like that.
with that fancy schmancy snap-on wrench.
Here's the
I can only afford Cobalt. I got a Cobalt one right there next to the snap-on. That's like nothing compared to that snap-on.
So Jason went and put everything together, and then I come over here and tell him, take it all back apart. We need to verify. Yeah, this harmonic balancer sits super close. So.
Yeah, it's like a 16. I took feeler gauges and checked. It's like 1/16 of an inch.
Yeah, it's not much.
Okay, hopefully this is the last time we see the bottom end of the engine. Got the oil pump drive lubed up. We got the timing cover set flush. We got that stuff up front, the sprocket, the chain oiled up, and we got the stuff Loctited, all the bolts, all the hardware. I think we're ready, right?
Right.
Oil pan. Going on.
There you go.
There's like 27 or 28 of these stupid things.
Yeah. Feels
A
like
lot.
it gets monotonous after a while.
Having this thing is nice though. Just beeps at you like, yep, you got it. So we did put some RTV in the corners here, above and below the gasket, where the timing cover meets the oil pan, and back here at the rear main seal as well. What do you call this, Rick? What is this thing for? Just kind of like a dust cap, or?
Yeah, it's just a crank cover. Keeps the dust out of the back of the rear main seal. That was Chrysler's answer to the rear main seal issues that they were having.
I bet that did a lot, didn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. Did nothing.
All right, so we'll go back over all of them, and then we'll hit. I think there's only one. How many are the big guys, Rick?
4.
One?
Just 4 of them.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we're getting ready to add some oil. So we went and got everything zipped back together. The whole oil pan, everything's back together, torqued down. Should be ready to go. We'll see if we have leaks here in just a minute. But I'm going to add some of the Lucas braking oil that they send with S&J Engines. They send this along with the kit with an oil pump. It's an M81A oil pump packed with Vaseline, as you saw earlier. We got the drill ready to go to prime it. We'll show you that in a second. And ready to add oil. So here we go. This really don't even need a funnel, do I?
Probably not.
All right, 5 more to go. All right, so while we're pouring this in here, what is your favorite oil to run when you break in an engine? This is the first engine I'm gonna break in with Rick's help here, but I like Lucas products, but what do you guys run? What do you run on your engine? What kind of oil do you run? Break-in wise, normal wise, do you run synthetic? Do you run regular? Do you run 10W30? What kind of oil filter do you like? Leave a comment down below. I'd be curious to see what you guys like for your 4.0s or your strokers. What accessories you like? What oil filters? What type of oil? What's your flavor? They're not all the same, but they all do about the same thing. So, what's your favorite? Leave a comment.
Hit it. Hit it really hard.
I'm making it work yet. Once it starts picking up.
There it is. Hear it? The sound.
Is that fast enough or too fast or too slow?
Perfect. I'll look inside the valve cover and make sure.
I see oil moving.
I'm trying to get both moving.
You see it in there moving, Rick?
Barely.
I can't see it in this one.
Sorry.
Don't make fun of me, guys. It's 105 foot-pounds. What we did, Rick was kind of impressed with this. Took a wrench, a bolt in the flywheel, and a bolt down here in the engine mount, the back of the casting, and put a wrench between the two to keep this thing from rotating while we torque these down. So I put a little bit of ARP assembly lube under the heads and some red Loctite. So the next guy who wants to take this apart, which is probably going to be me, it's going to be on there to be. And ask Rick how he knows. Don't forget your scatter shield, because if you forget this, they all have to come back apart. So we're torquing these down to 105 foot-pounds.
Sort of like having to take the timing cover.
Everything you worked hard for all week to do. Rick's like, nah, just take it all back apart. So how much does this thing weigh fully dressed, I guess, for oil, Rick?
700 and some pounds.
And this flywheel weighs about 1,000 pounds.
No, it's just 40.
Oh. Now you see why Rick picked up the camera. He's like, oh, it's your,
It's your
flywheel.
engine. You
torque it down. He ain't stupid. All right.
You're fighting the hoist and
all the movement.
yeah.
It's this. Oh.
There you go.
Woo. Man. Get this thing fired up here. We're gonna got the cord in it. Rick's running the scan tool on it right now, and got a audience right here watching the peanut gallery. But we're gonna see if we got all the injectors hooked up, everything hooked up just right, all the sensors plugged in, see if there's any codes, and we're gonna give her a fire. So stay tuned. We'll see what happens. All right. But it is alive, everybody. It's alive. Thank you, Rick.
Good, man.
Thanks, Rick. Have a safe drive home. Got her running. Although I put an aftermarket starter in it, and the starter sounds a little wonky. Here, let's give this a listen. I might put the original back in or get a better one. Doesn't sound like it likes it very much, but that's an easy fix. All right, everybody. So I don't know if you heard it in the video. I wanted to address that starter, how much noise it was making. I think I found out exactly what it was. So if you look here, this is a DB electrical starter, brand new from Amazon. I'm gonna actually have to return it because it's compatible for my Jeep, but look at the teeth already after like 2 starts, 3, 4 starts maybe. What I think is, I don't know why it is the way it is, but if you look here, the Bendix actually sits proud of the housing. I mean, that's probably a little more than a quarter of an inch. It sticks out. and the Mopar one is actually flush back in the actual housing itself. So I think this is actually riding on the flywheel. Even when it's sitting, it's just kind of spinning. And it's also, you can see how it's almost like wearing, like, I mean, that's just like basically 3 or 4 starts on that. And it made a heck of a nasty grinding noise when I went to start it up. But I wanted you to hear exactly how it sounds. Now, and key crank. That's the way she should sound. Hey everybody, it's actually the next night here. I just wanted to say that I thought I filmed an outro, but it did not record, it did not take, did not save, or I forgot to hit record. And I think it's probably the latter. I probably forgot to hit record. But anyway, with that being said, I wanted to wrap up this video with saying thank you so much for following along. If you haven't been already, I'd suggest you go back to part 1, watch it all the way through. I tried to document the whole thing as much as I could without boring everybody. Parts 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is part 5. Actually getting it running, and I'll do some video updates of it driving, and basically learning. The computer needs to learn, everything needs to learn itself and get itself settled in. It runs great, has great oil pressure, it doesn't overheat, everything's running perfect. I don't have a lot of seat time in it yet, but the computer does need to learn. It's got to take a little bit of time to learn a new cubic inch, learn the air to fuel ratio, all that stuff. So we'll give it some time to settle in, to give it a real world review here. In about 500 miles, I'll probably take and drain the oil and do a full oil change and everything. And I got a magnetic plug for that oil pan, so we'll see what is all on that plug, and I will document it then for you guys to show you. I got what's called a gold plug. I don't know, I've heard good things, but hopefully that catches any type of metal shavings as this engine breaks in. So I actually got the bumper back on, I got the winch back on, I got to wire that up, and I got the hood back on. So I'm starting to get it back together that we can actually drive it. I was driving it around the other night with no hood just to try it out. So I just want to let you guys know that's a wrap on this video. Thank you so much for following along. And also, if you're not following Rick on Instagram or on YouTube here, go subscribe, go give him some love, and go check out his channel. Again, that's Jeep Doc TV. The link is down in the description. Go check him out. He was a huge help. I thank him a whole heck of a lot for all his help and everything, getting this thing in and just really busting it out in the 100-degree heat. And we were soaked in sweat getting it done, but I'm so glad he helped me persevere and got it done. So thanks so much for watching. We will catch you guys on the next one and give you some real world driving and exhaust clips and all that good stuff. Stay tuned. We'll see you next time.